Hello and welcome to another episode of Ash Recaps. Today I'm going to recap a romance drama film from 1997 called Lolita. Spoilers ahead. Watch out, relax, and enjoy the video. In the sun-kissed city of Cannes, a young man named Humbert finds himself at the Marana Hotel, where fate intertwines his path with that of a beautiful girl named Annabelle. Their love blossoms amidst the carefree days spent on the sensual summer beaches, but tragedy strikes as Annabelle succumbs to the cruel grip of typhus, leaving Humbert haunted by the loss of his beloved. Years later, Humbert, now a professor at an American university, seeks solace in the creative retreat of a young widow named Charlotte Hayes. Yet it is not Charlotte's beauty that captivates him, but rather the striking resemblance of her 12-year-old daughter Dolores to his long-lost Annabelle. Humbert finds himself unable to avert his gaze from the enchanting Lolita, as he is drawn into a world where the boundaries between adolescent innocence and adult allure blur. As night falls, Humbert immerses himself in his work, the soft glow of the radio providing a backdrop to his solitary endeavors. It is then that Lolita, clad in pajamas and with her hair in curlers, appears, her youthful charm illuminated by the soft light. Humbert is unable to resist her allure, and a subtle dance of mutual fascination begins, their clandestine exchanges weaving a web of forbidden affection. Meanwhile, Charlotte, unaware of the flourishing connection between Humbert and Lolita, extends her own gestures of affection towards the professor who coldly accepts her advances. Unbeknownst to her, Charlotte's dreams of a new marriage and a happy family life prompt her to send Lolita away to a boarding school against the young girl's will. Lolita's lips are like fire on Humbert's mouth, a blaze that burns away his doubts and fears. She kisses him goodbye, unaware of the fate that awaits her mother. Charlotte has poured out her heart in a letter, confessing her love for Humbert and begging him to stay if he feels the same. Humbert decides to marry the woman he despises, enduring her presence only for the sake of Lolita. He poisons Charlotte's food and drink with sleeping pills, keeping her in a drowsy state. Charlotte is blissfully ignorant until she discovers Humbert's passionate letters to Dolores, full of insults and mockery. Furious and hurt, Charlotte plans to leave him that very day. She runs to the mailbox with her own letters to her daughter, but a car hits her before she can drop them in. Charlotte dies, and Humbert's dream comes true. He is free to have Lolita, his forbidden fruit. He pretends to be her father and takes her away from the boarding school. Humbert and Lolita drive away, leaving behind the past. Lolita changes her clothes in the back seat, teasing Humbert with glimpses of her body. He watches her in the mirror, hungry and eager. He lies to Lolita about her mother's death, saying she is in the hospital with a stomach problem. Lolita wants to talk about how she cheated on Humbert at the boarding school, thinking he was no longer interested in her. To prove her wrong, Humbert stops the car, locks the doors, and kisses his beloved. They arrive at the hotel where Humbert checks in. Lolita sees a small dog in the lobby and crawls on her knees to pet it. The dog belongs to a respectable man who tells Lolita that his dog only likes nice and beautiful people. Feeling flattered, Lolita looks at the man with interest and smiles. At night, Humbert and Lolita have dinner at the hotel restaurant. Lolita says that the famous writer Quilty is sitting at one of the tables and that she saw him this morning in the lobby with his dog. In their room after dinner, Lolita tries to tell Humbert how naughty she was at the boarding school. Humbert avoids the unpleasant conversation. He leaves Lolita alone in the room to change and goes out locking the door. He steps out on the hotel terrace where a mysterious stranger sits on a rocking chair. He starts talking to Humbert about Lolita and invites them both to lunch the next day. Humbert replies cautiously that Lolita is his daughter and that they are leaving tomorrow. He has to decline, unfortunately. He goes back to his room and finds Lolita asleep. He puts on his pajamas, lies down on the bed and stares at the girl next to him. Humbert is tormented by his forbidden love for Lolita, yet he lacks the courage to act upon it. Lolita now groaned during his absence, making it clear that she yearns for more than just kisses. Humbert then discovered she is no longer a virgin, having had an affair with another man. He tries to uncover the culprit's identity, but Lolita remains silent. When they stop at a gas station, Lolita asks Humbert for money and the number for the hospital where her mother is. Humbert knows the time has come to tell her the truth. He confesses that Charlotte has died. Lolita is devastated and retreats to her hotel room. Humbert hears her sobbing through the wall, but does not go to console or calm her. Instead, she comes to him climbing into his bed and nestling against him for comfort. Lolita dries her tears and slips into her playful and naughty teen persona. She fills the car with songs, candies, and pranks while Humbert steers. In another motel room, she flushes the toilet to scold the man in the shower. On the road, they bicker and make up. The man endures all the whims of a mischievous girl and indulges her fancies, like playing tennis. And in return, he gets what he craves in the motel rooms. Humbert decides to settle down with Lolita in a small town, and posing as her father sends the girl to the gymnasium, where plays, dances, and dates with suitors are the core of her education. The man finds himself in a contradictory role. He is both a tyrant who corrupts innocence and a happy father. Humbert braids Lolita's hair, helps her learn history, and zealously monitors her relations with her male peers. Lolita runs out of pocket money, so she manipulates Humbert's attraction to double the amount she gets. Unable to resist temptation, the man agrees to give her $2 instead of $1. To keep his precious nymphet on a tight leash, Humbert stalks her to rehearsal, peering from the wings like a vulture. Lolita's friend Mona whispers that the playwright himself ogles them, sending shivers down Humbert's spine. The curtain falls on their passionate nights, and now Humbert must pay to play. His wallet weeps, suspecting his runaway bride plots and escape. Skipping her piano lesson, Lolita lies she frolicked in the park, providing her partner in crime's digits as alibi. Humbert howls, and he's certain that she conspires against him. He bares his teeth, demanding she turn over her hard-earned quarters from gentlemen callers. Lolita hisses that she won't return an old pervert's pay. Furious, Humbert's paw strikes her cheek. Lolita flees on 2 wheels with tears and vengeance swirling. Humbert hunts his hurt nymphet, finding her whispering by the phone booth at the witching hour. Lolita slams the receiver, her mood molting from fury to flirtation. Humbert melts, bewitched by her beauty. On the rainy road home, Lolita requests a trip, guided by her whims alone. By nightfall, the serpent and charmer reconcile. Humbert and Lolita are sightseeing. The kid happily lists the names and dates of their stops. The old man nods along. He's in a waking dream, but sometimes he startles awake. In the mirror, he sees a car tailing them. Humbert tells Lolita to jot down the car's number in a notebook. The girl obeys, but takes the chance to tease him. She gnaws a banana with her lips-ticked mouth. At the next stop, Humbert lingers by the sunglasses, while a shady guy in a suit talks to Lolita. He panics that the stalker has caught up and rushes outside, but the man is already gone. Lolita says he was a lost bum asking for directions. Humbert is on edge, sensing a trap. He asks for the notebook with the plate and sees the kid has changed the numbers and letters. Humbert snaps and smacks her. The girl exits the car crying, but Humbert catches her and calms her down. At the hotel, he tries making peace and goes to buy her bananas. He takes the chance to stop by the barber for a makeover. When he returns, he finds Lolita with dirty feet and smeared lipstick. He realizes the kid went out of the room and saw someone else. Lolita looks at him insolently, making it clear she won't tell. Humbert throws her on the bed and tries to know the truth, but the girl just mocks him. Night falls and the room begins swirling before Humbert's eyes. Someone knocks on the door, revealing strange, cackling, masked figures. Humbert tries to regain his senses to no avail. Gripped by delirium, he brandishes his gun. At the hotel, Lolita displays a deathly pallor. Humbert takes her to the ER for examination. The doctor demands an overnight stay for observation. Early morning, Humbert calls for an update. The nurse announces Lolita, now recovered, has left with her uncle and a chihuahua. Enraged, Humbert races to the hospital, smashing everything in his path. There, like a madman, he attacks the staff and pummels the doctor. Soon the cops arrive and with great difficulty bring the hysterical man back to his senses. Confused, Humbert apologizes before fleeing. Having made a complete fool of himself, Humbert leaves the hotel with a burning trail of rage and obsession. He scours the guest books of every motel, looking for the familiar handwriting of the kidnapper. Months of frantic chase turn into dust and Humbert returns home. 3 years later, he receives a letter from Lolita. She tells him she is married and pregnant, expecting a baby before Christmas. But she and her husband are drowning in debt and need a lifeline. Lolita asks him to send over some money. Humbert ignores her request and decides to bring the money himself. He practices shooting with a revolver before the trip. He finds Lolita's address and reaches an old house. She opens the door. Dolores is no longer the wild teenager he remembered. She is calm, wearing plain clothes and glasses. She invites him in. Humbert looks around the house and sees a young man on a ladder. He is Lolita's husband, but he is not the man Humbert is looking for. Lolita says it was Claire Quilty who followed them and took her away. She smiles dreamy and says that he was the only man she ever loved, but he threw her out. Quilty had a hobby of making movies with little girls, and Lolita was just an audition for him. When she said no to his script, Quilty showed her the door. Humbert, spellbound, gazes at Lolita and nothing, not her tail, not her belly, can quench his fiery love for her. He begs her to run away with him right now. Lolita evades his plea and reminds him of the cash she asked for in the letter. Humbert gives her an envelope with $4,000. Lolita thanks her sugar daddy but won't come. They part ways on the porch. Humbert asks Lolita to ring him. She stays silent and Humbert gets in his car. Suddenly he sees Lolita as he met her in front of him, a happy and smiling girl in short shorts. From Lolita's porch, Humbert drives to Quilty's mansion. He sees the writer flaunting around the house in an open robe. Humbert does not think twice. He takes out his revolver, shoots one bullet after another at the man, and when Quilty has already bled a lot, he shoots one final shot. The police chases Humbert's car, but he has no will to escape. He stops the car and gives up, and the movie ends here. At the end of the film, it is shown that soon after he was arrested, Humbert dies in prison of a heart attack. And just a couple of days later, Lolita and her baby also die in childbirth on Christmas Day. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, then give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you'd like to watch more videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe the channel and click the bell icon to turn on notifications. We'll see you with another amazing video soon. Take care and goodbye.